Hi, I'm Deborah Bly, and we are here in this charming waterfront community of Bayou Vista, 12 miles away from Galveston and 40 miles away from Houston.
That's right, I'm Stephen Barnhill, and today we're going to show you this beautiful coastal community that's got amazing amenities. We're going to walk you through some of those amenities. We're going to show you a home that we actually have listed here in this community. And let me tell you, this one is really something special. This is a home that is unlike pretty much any that this community has to offer.
So we're not really going to just talk about this specific home, although we are going to talk about it, but we're going to talk about this home. First of all, Stephen, do you know what these are?
You told me the name of them earlier, but I have already forgotten. What are they?
They are blow-away walls.
Blow-away walls. And what does a blow-away wall do?
What's your first guess?
That they would probably blow away in the event of a storm.
Well, so we're here in a waterfront community next to Galveston, so one of the things we have here are hurricanes and tidal surges and floods, and these walls are meant to let water come through, and essentially they'll blow out if it's strong enough, but even the water coming through, you're not going to see a lot of structural damage done to the home. So it's actually meant to protect the integrity of the structure of the home itself.
That's very interesting. And if you see here in the community, all of these homes are built on pillars, but this home here is really special because we're going to call these columns. These are full concrete columns that this home is built on, incredible foundation. But Bayou Vista as a whole, going back to the neighborhood now, started in the 1960s. As Deborah mentioned, it's only 12 miles from Galveston, so you really get that coastal feel, that coastal living vibe, as well as you have these little canals that are built through the community. Each street is built on a canal, so every home has a beautiful water access, which is great for your boating, your fishing. If you're into that kind of lifestyle, this area of the Houston Metroplex, we'll call it, has that ability to give you that waterfront coastal lifestyle that you look for.
Yeah. Then I also want to cover, Stephen, like if you were to look for a home here in Bayou Vista, what are some of the things you would be looking for? Because we'll share this home, but every single home here is very, very different. So one of the things we talked about is like, these are amazing columns, and if you're here in Bayou Vista, you're going to see everything from, you know, little wooden, I'm going to call them stilts,
yeah,
to like massive columns like this, to you'll see some cinder block columns.
Yes.
So there definitely is a difference. So if you're looking at homes here, honestly, this would be the way to go. But you have homes that were built here in this neighborhood like way back in the 60s. The building code in the 60s and the building code today are two entirely different codes.
Yes.
You're also going to see things here in Bayou Vista, like you're going to see this house here, I would say is elevated about 16 foot.
Yeah.
You'll see homes that don't have near that elevation.
Yes.
You're also going to see there's no main living on this floor. However, if you go to some of the homes in here, you'll see they actually have living spaces on the bottom floor, and you can imagine what happens to those spaces during a storm.
Yes, I think it's definitely the smart idea here to build up, to build on these columns, and this gives you the benefit of living on that coastal waterfront and also having the ability to have a storm pass through and not have your entire home flooded and all of your belongings damaged.
Yeah, correct. And for the homes that have the living downstairs, I mean, back in the 60s, they took advantage of that space and they weren't really looking at those things. But of course, a few storms later, kind of became important.
Yes, absolutely, I can see that. Well, let us take a tour through the home and then check out the dock that it has as well that comes with the home, talk about the home that we have listed, and then kind of take a stroll through the neighborhood and show everybody what Bayou Vista has to offer.
Sounds good. So one of the things I love about this home, Stephen, is you come up here and you'll see a lot of the homes don't have these covered porches. But to sit out here on this covered porch out here like this is just amazing. And I mean, it is a hot day here in Texas today. Is it hot up here?
No, because you have that cool breeze coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. And then as you said, you have the covered porch. But if you wanted to get some sun, there's a beautiful patio area out there.
I have to say, I love this. And not only is it a great, huge patio area, I can see a barbecue or two over here.
Definitely.
But look at that. Like, that's beautiful. Like, some of these places you feel like you're on these little narrow canals, but some of them are big, open, and wide, and then you have that down there. It's gorgeous.
Absolutely. And can you get a boat in and out of these canals at all times of the day?
Well, Let's take a look at all these boathouses that are lined up against this canal. And I would say, man, there's one or two I wouldn't mind owning myself.
You're right about that. Well, let's take a look in the house.
So I want to know too, this is an Anderson door. And I mean, everybody has heard about Anderson windows. I mean, they're about as good as anything gets.
So obviously this probably isn't your typical home that you would see in Bayou Vista. You have the vaulted ceilings, you see the structure and the bones here of what's going to be built. But what's interesting about our client is he's actually allowing the buyer of the home to come in and take this perfect, beautiful structure and build out with the finishes what they want and make it truly their dream home that's also very secure and has good foundation.
Yeah, so in reality, this is actually a very rare find here in Bayou Vista, right?
Yeah.
Normally you're gonna come here to Bayou Vista for the most part, and you're gonna find homes that were built in the 60s, 70s, maybe 80s. And they're going to have short ceilings, not these tall 18-foot vaulted ceilings that you have in here. There's certainly not going to be this open floor plan with the windows looking out onto the water. So, I mean, kind of the beautiful thing with this particular home is it's constructed amazingly well. I don't know if you guys know, but your standard home that's built will have 2x4 walls on 16-inch centers. This home actually has 2x6 walls on 16-inch centers. And what that means to you is, first of all, it's a heck of a lot more sturdy. And second of all, in these hot Texas summers, you can super insulate them so that you're going to have a really low energy efficient home.
Yeah, the buyer could come in and do a spray foam insulation here, and that would keep it cool even with these high vaulted ceilings, so you can have that modern look of the high ceilings, but also have that perfect insulation that's going to allow for the home to stay cool, keep those energy costs down and things like that.
By the way, is that low energy efficiency home or high energy efficiency home?
High energy efficiency home, low energy bills.
That's
what we
it.
want. That's what we're looking for.
That's what we're looking for. For any of these newer construction homes, which you're also going to see not on the older homes, but on these newer construction homes, because of the codes that have gone up, you're going to see these high impact, energy efficient double pane windows. And when we say high impact, what that means is it has to, I know there's a rating that goes with that, but it has to be able to withstand a certain impact, pounds per inch or something like that.
Yeah.
For these hurricanes that potentially would be in this area.
Potentially or eventually.
Eventually.
Yep. So open living space, you can almost feel this is going to be like the living area. Maybe you have a dining area of some sort over here, and then it kind of takes us down this hallway here,
Yep.
which I presume this will be a bedroom here. You can see the closet laid out.
Yep.
Another bedroom here and a third here. So this would be the master bedroom. And so
Primary bedroom.
So this would be
Well, we're being politically correct these days. This is called a primary bedroom.
This would be the primary. Obviously more space for a larger bathroom area in here. But given the fact that the homes in Bayou Vista, obviously lots are at a premium when you're on the water, so you're not dealing with a huge lot space. But the way that the builder has finished this home out allows for you to have a real maximal living space with 3 nice sized bedrooms, good kitchen dining area, and good living area.
Yeah, what's also kind of cool, in all honesty, is if you were buying a lot and building from scratch, let me tell you what, the whole permitting process, the whole getting to this stage of the build process is not the fun part of the process. Really, where we're at right now is where the fun of the process begins, and that's starting to pick out your fixtures and your kitchen. I mean, you could have like your immaculate chef's delight kitchen in this house because you get to pick it all out yourself.
That's right. So Deb, I guess this kind of sums up the house that we have listed, but let's show the viewers here a little bit about Bayou Vista. Let's show them the neighborhood, let's show them the area, and really get them a feel for what coastal living in Texas is actually like.
I know coastal living feels like coming out of that unair-conditioned house back into the Gulf breeze.
Yes, it feels nice and cool out here.
Yeah. Hey, so Stephen, let's start with a bit of the history of Bayou Vista. So this was, like we've mentioned before, developed in the 1960s. Before that, this was primarily marshland.
Exactly. The visionaries behind this development saw the potential for a vibrant boating and fishing community, and they transformed the area, really creating homes and canals that provide direct access to Galveston Bay.
And really, Stephen, as word spread about this really beautiful community, it quickly grew in popularity as both a residential and a vacation spot, and it still keeps that small town vibe.
Absolutely. And if we dive into the community and the lifestyle itself here, one of the standouts, at least to me, and the real features of Bayou Vista is the strong sense of togetherness.
Oh, absolutely. Nearly all the homes here have direct access to the Galveston Bay, which encourages a lifestyle that's centered around water and water activities. And you can just imagine waking up to the sound of water lapping at your deck.
Perfect to me. Residents can hop on their boats for a day of fishing or explore right from their backyards. And this community does feature some really nice local parks, things like that. There's restaurants nearby. Pretty much everything you'd need you can find right here in Bayou Vista without venturing into Galveston or going up towards Houston.
However, if you wanted to venture into Galveston, there is a lot to do in Galveston.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that proximity to Galveston. That is a huge plus. Galveston is a vibrant little island. It has the cruise ship terminal. There's phenomenal restaurants, as we mentioned. There's all kinds of activities for families to do there. And it's really just something that's in your backyard.
What's really cool about Galveston too is, I mean, the bridge is right there. You're a bridge away from being in Galveston. And aside from some really great dining spots, aside from beaches, Galveston beaches, you really have some eclectic history in Galveston. And I mean, if you haven't taken any of the historical tours in Galveston and you live here locally, shame on you. If you're coming for a visit, definitely carve some time out of your schedule to take some of those historic tours here in Galveston, because they really are quite charming.
So I think to sum it up, Deb, whether you're in the mood for a beach day, you want to just relax on the porch, you want to buy a home that's not going to break the bank, but you can live on the coast, Bayou Vista is a very viable option for you as a buyer.
Extremely affordable option, as a matter of fact, and you forgot one of the main things.
What's that?
Walk out your front door and get your boat down into the water and take a tour.
There you go. So thank you all for watching this tour of our beautiful home here listed in Bayou Vista, as well as a larger tour of the neighborhood. If you're thinking about moving to the Houston or Galveston area, make sure you click a like on this video and hit the subscribe button. We're going to be bringing you in-depth content of all the communities, all the areas, some new build construction, some pros and cons of the different suburbs, and you're going to want to make sure you check that out.
Equally as important, the homes, if you haven't caught on to that here in Bayou Vista, are really so different. Get together with somebody that really understands the different nuances between the different homes here in Bayou Vista.